YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back with some more record predictions and game-by-game predictions for the 2020 NFL season. This video for the New England Patriots, the new-look New England Patriots, I might add. And we did this video for the Bills. We did it for the Dolphins. We're going through every single team. We're going to go AFC East like so, and then NFC East back to the AFC North, NFC North, so on. So if we could stick with us for that, at the end we'll do playoff predictions. And you're going to want to follow our Twitter because once I get through in a division, I'm going to tweet out a poll who will win this division, and we're going to keep doing that till we're through and then figure out the wild card seeds as well. So you guys will be involved in plenty of upcoming content. You're going to want to subscribe to both of our channels. Really close to that 50K sub goal. Really appreciate the support. You know, about a year ago, a little over a year ago, we were at 10K, so this is ridiculous. You guys are amazing there. I'm glad you enjoy the channel. Follow that Twitter, Instagram. Links in the description, comments for anything you need, including that podcast. So you can check that out. About 8 to 9 episodes out there. And moving on to the predictions. Using playoffpredictors.com. You can go to that site, check it out, make your own predictions. Let me know what you come up with in the comments. But kind of breaking down the Patriots, you know, it's weird seeing this team this different. You know, there is no doubt in my mind that this team will be back towards the top of the league. I just think there's an adjustment period. Looking over, evaluating this roster, I think it's still a really good secondary like it was last year. Love the cornerback room. They got plenty of depth there. They got the great starters, Gilmore being the best in football. Safety unit might be aging. They do add Kyle Duggar, so that's fantastic, but it's overall a really good secondary. You wish they had more pass rush. They kind of, losing out on their linebackers, Kyle Van Noy. Jamie Collins, they were just fine without him in the past, but he had a big-time year. So they added some good replacements throughout the draft. Again, there just might be an adjustment period. I think we can see Chase Winovich step up this year. I just don't expect a whole bunch of pressure. It's kind of on that secondary for the most part. And that defense, the offense, going Tom Brady to Jarrett Stidham. I was a big Jarrett Stidham fan. Coming out of Auburn, I believe I was higher on him than almost everybody out there in terms of the draft as a draft prospect, and I think he can be that next guy for them. I just think, again, I think there's an adjustment period. I think it's even if he struggles, even if I'm predicting him to struggle early on, that doesn't really tell us what he will be in the future, which I think is a pretty good quarterback. I think guys like Sony Michel can step up. N'Keal Harry will have a breakout year in his second year here. As long as the quarterback play is pretty solid. They drafted some tight ends. So, it just feels like, they're just missing so much. And, again, I keep saying it, but it's an adjustment period for the Patriots. But going to the predictions, I did the Dolphins video already. And I'm kind of sticking with my pick there. I predicted the Dolphins to kind of sneak this one out here, even though they're away. Week 1, I'll say this in every video too. I say it every single year. First 2 to 3 weeks, they're pretty random. Can't predict it. And then you definitely cannot have takeaways for the rest of the season based off of it. That's a fact for every single year. Sometimes it's the first 2 weeks, sometimes it's 3 weeks. I just went with the Dolphins here, and then they play at Seattle. That'll definitely be a tough one. The Seahawks definitely be a well-prepared team here. The Patriots still kind of adjusting. Then they're home against the Raiders, and they pick up their first win here. The only scary thing is, the Raiders started off pretty good last year. Derek Carr really started off very well last year, and then really the complete opposite the second half of the year. So if it's similar, maybe they're a strong team early. It's a new year, so that could be the only scary thing there. But they are home there. After that Seattle game, they're playing the Raiders, and then they got at Kansas City. That could be a tough one. The question is, will they be able to keep up scoring with the Chiefs? I don't think they can slow them down enough. It's pretty much the secondary's gonna, you only can cover for so long. They got a lot on their shoulders there, a lot on their backs. Broncos at Patriots. I really like this Broncos team for this year. It's a very complete team, explosive team on both sides of the ball. Taking the Broncos, it's just very tough to see this. And at the end of this video, like all of them, we'll do best case scenario. So I'll go back and change some things. What could go the other way? I'm not going to change everything, but what could go the other way? So, this is my prediction for now, but we'll see best case scenario at the end. So stay with us here, even though you're probably getting upset with me if you're a Patriots fan. Bye week 7, that's good. It's a good time to have the bye week. An okay time. I guess you wish, 7 or 8, probably a little better, but okay time. And then they play the 49ers. I think this pass rush can be too much for them off the bye week, and the Niners grab that one. And then they're at Buffalo. I do have the Bills winning in Buffalo. But then Monday night against the Jets, and it's in New York. They're a little more even than they have been in the past. But this is a Patriots win here. This is the game they always get done here. The Jets in prime time. So I will take the Patriots. The Ravens just getting better and better. We saw what they were last year. The Patriots on the opposite end there. So I take the Ravens there. But the better team doesn't always win. So we're at 2-7 at this point. And it's crazy thinking that the Patriots can do that. But you kind of look at the roster again, and they are still that upside team. They're not quite there yet. The roster, even last year, the reason why they were out so early, they kind of blow the game, the Dolphins, at the end of the year, they're out so early, losing to the Titans, can't score. It's because it just wasn't the same roster. It wasn't the same roster. It wasn't the same offensive line, wasn't the same receiver unit, tight end unit. It wasn't, the running back unit, struggled a little bit. The defense, again, pretty much was secondary with some good linebacker play. So, even last year, you can start to see the roster really wasn't where it used to be in the past, and we're going to see that even more of that this year. But I think it'll start to go, up. It will start to go in the right direction. Playing in Houston, I got the Texans since I'm a big home field advantage guy, so that one of those games that late in the season when the Patriots are starting to figure things out. But being in Houston would be pretty tough. I do have them beating the Cardinals. Cardinals can be a sneaky team, pretty good team. But I do have the Patriots kind of figuring this one out here. The Chargers, that's a tough defense to play at this portion of the season. I think by this time of the year, Week 13, we could be, saying that the Chargers may have the best defense in football. So it's a tough time to play them. It's good to play the Rams a little later. Their offensive line struggles start to take shape down the stretch. That could be the case here. Thursday night in LA, though. I don't think the Patriots provide enough pass rush presence to. That's how you throw off Goff in this McVay offense. I don't know if they have enough of that. A couple of rookies are gonna have to step up, and a guy like Josh Uche could be solid right away. I'm not saying he won't be, but again, I keep going back to. I think there will be a period where they'll just really have to. It might be an entire year. It might be my entire 2 years. Figure things out. I got them splitting with the Dolphins away games here. Week 1 will be tough, playing them that early on, not knowing the identity of that. That's kind of when the Patriots struggle. They're really good at game planning, but when they play the teams like the Dolphins are a whole bunch of new teams, whole players, I should say. It's a whole new team, and playing a former coach, so it'll be tough Week 1, and they figure it out Week 15. Monday night against the Bills. The Bills are a much better team. I got the Patriots pulling this one off. Monday night, like I said, the end of the year is when they start to figure things out here. And then I do have them splitting with the Jets, though, as well. So I do have them 5-11. It's just weird seeing 5 wins next to that Patriots name. It's just strange, but we gotta come down to reality here. It's gonna be some time, but they will get back to where they need to be. They will. I'm confident. It's gonna take some time. Kind of going back and see what the best case scenario is. Where could I be wrong? What are the close games? They could win that Week 1 against the Patriots. I just don't see them winning. This is a really tough. I mean, they could beat the Broncos. I do like the Broncos there, though. It's a tough schedule. It's a really tough schedule. Between 13 and 14, they definitely can pull one of these off, for sure. Maybe it's, could they pull both off? It's certainly possible. They can possibly go to, you start to go back. They could win this game, but they're not going to win all of them. So you kind of start to, pick some of them. I think 8 wins, maybe we'll call it 9 wins, is kind of the top, the max for the Patriots this year. If they can do more. I mean, we already know Belichick's the best of all time. Even McDaniels, throw him in there. In terms of an assistant coach, we know how good they are. But I mean, it will take them next level if they can push this team in the playoffs. And I'm not going to really doubt them, so they can't. I got one more win here. One more win. If they can pull off, that Broncos one or the Chargers one. 9. We're talking 9 wins. They can sneak. There's 7 teams making playoffs from the AFC, NFC now, so they can sneak in and get that last spot. But that will be quite the achievement on what you think. There's no achievements left for a guy like Bill Belichick. It will be quite the moment, really. You can't really. He can't really. When you think he can't really top himself anymore, he actually can here. So that is something I would be very excited to see. It'd be very, a good moment in just sports in general to see that. But, they they're in the right direction, but it's gonna be a quick, I think, turnaround. Even quick by that, I think it's quick if it's 2 years. Struggling really. So we'll see. Some people think they'll be just fine because they're coaching. They'll be back in the playoffs. Some people think, they're just putting themselves in the driver's seat to get a guy like Trevor Lawrence. They're not going to lose on purpose. No way. No chance. But that would be something if they ended up back, down there, and they would be just even better just like that. So interesting. Very interesting to see what the Patriots do this year. That is my thoughts. You guys could go ahead, go to the site, playoffpredictors.com, very cool site, and then make your predictions. Comment with your record predictions, where games you think they'll definitely lose, or games they can definitely pull one off. Maybe they play some good teams, so maybe you think they can sneak by some of these teams. So click that like button. Check us out on Twitter. It's a must follow. There's some polls that will involve you guys in future videos, of course, and then any link that you need for like the podcast, whatever, in the description, in the comments, every video. So check those out. Really appreciate the support. Just about at 50K. It's been awesome. We're going to keep grinding here. So thanks everyone for watching. That's going to do it. Goodbye.